my question was, how do you think some of these Chinese emerging brands in Europe, how can they export the success that they've had in China to overseas markets? What kind of changes do you think they will need to make to win over European consumers?
I think this is a great question, and I'm sure some of the audience here has probably visited the Shanghai auto shows, and you will agree with me that the new product that they launched is definitely amazing. And personally, I drive many kinds of cars. I'm a car geek. Car in this era, in this world that we are living right now, is no longer about just a car. Once upon a time, having an automotive is just a transportation. But today, having a car is about lifestyle, is about fun. So if I were to look at it, that is the success because the acceleration and the laser focus of innovation of the Chinese OEM is making a lot of wow factor in the car. And that's the reason why the TikTok, the YouTubes, everybody is talking about the craziness of how this innovation of this Chinese OEM car. And they want to break into the European market. But how do they go about doing that? That doesn't guarantee that they are a success. Because just now in one of the audiences, I heard that there's a lot of focus on the knob and the traditional. Not every country has the same level of techiness that the consumer have. So in order for the Chinese OEM to be successful, they need to listen to what the consumer needs. They need to appreciate local partnership like people like us who understand the market, willing to do a lot of research with them and willing to do a lot of customization. And one of the key features that the Chinese car need to have is the after-sales support to make sure that they give customer a peace of mind, and over time also need to build on the residual value of the car. And this will make them highly successful. But regardless of whether it's Chinese OEM, European or the Japanese, so long as you are built on agility, you are building on innovation with a very strong focus on lean supply chain and cost management and making sure that the car is interesting, there will always be a market for it.
We're seeing a complicated political situation as well. Europe has imposed higher tariffs against Chinese electric vehicles. And in face of these geopolitical tensions, I mean, even if they wanted to, do you think these Chinese OEMs will be able to bring the cutting-edge technologies that they've developed at home to Europe?
So long as your car has a strong eyes on being quick to market and have a strong focus on innovation, there will always be a market on it. Jameel Motors has 80 years of mobility experience, and building on our experience, we have actually seen the ups and downs of a trend. While this tariff could be a long-term, short-term obstacles that you're facing, but what doesn't take away is that innovation and the consumer needs will always be there. And if you were to look at the current trend right now, there's a lot more collaborations. We see the European makers together with the Chinese maker coming together to build a common car platform. We see the Chinese maker actually going to the European market to manufacture a car. So it's no longer about a China-made China car. It could be leveraging on Chinese technology to build a car in Europe for the European. And what the automotive players need to be aware of is that everybody should be more collaborative with one another to make sure that we bring forward a huge success to continue to grow sustainable in this disruptive economy of automotive.
I mean, we've seen, as you say, there's been so much more collaboration, I think, between Chinese brands and Western brands. We've seen, we talked earlier in our panels about Stellantis and Leap Motor as well. I mean, do you think these collaborations are critical for European car makers to actually keep up with the pace of innovation for these Chinese OEMs?
This is $1 million question because everybody was asking at which point does this innovation has to continue. And I think but the collaboration will help to actually leapfrog the innovations. And if one of the key features that why the Chinese OEM is able to be very aggressive and be very successful in some of the market they're going for is that because they have been leading in the areas of innovations. And the collaboration with the European OEM will help them to narrow this gap. And this allowed both parties to co-survive together. And as a result, you will see that both, whether it's a Chinese or European, they can actually continue to win in the market jointly together.